All right, so what happened? Ohio State got its butt kicked at Iowa. Tim Bielek, Doug Lamarice, Bill Landis. Landis, what happened?
Jeez. Defense, everyone wasn't ready. After the Oklahoma game, the big question was, can this defense correct its problems in play action pass game? Can they stop it? And then they played pretty well against Penn State last week, and I think I was feeling good about the defense. I wrote about it. I think a lot of people were feeling good about the defense. That was the Oklahoma defense. That was a defense that couldn't stay disciplined against play action pass, and Nathan Stanley, an offensive quarterback, and an offensive line who hadn't blocked well this year, and an offense who hadn't done nothing all year, picked apart Ohio State because they were out of position all night.
Tim, what happened?
I think Bill kind of hit the nail on the head. It seemed to me that Kirk Ferentz really only needed to watch one game to game plan for Ohio State, the Oklahoma game, because they reenacted that game plan to a T, and Ohio State clearly has not fixed how to defend those short passes and all those different things that they did. I'll credit Brian Ferentz. He called a perfect game. Ohio State really had nothing going, and I also wonder how much the Nick Bosa targeting penalty really took the life out of this football team, because when that happened, 31-0 Iowa run came right after that.
So it felt like for Ohio State's defense, the one thing was for the Oklahoma game, they had a magic quarterback. This is not a magic quarterback. Stanley's not a magic quarterback. He threw 5 touchdown passes. That's all just the inability to cover the tight end. The tight ends had 140 yards receiving.
I think it was 7 catches, 110 yards, 4 touchdowns.
4 TDs. I don't even know if they hardly completed any passes to their receivers. The only receivers who caught balls were slot receivers. They weren't hitting them on the outside at all. And then I think part of it, the defensive line teed off on an inexperienced Penn State offensive line last week that had some real injury problems. This was a young Iowa offensive line. They handled them.
2 freshman tackles.
And if you don't get pressure, then the key to this is pressure, 4-man pressure. That's how they beat Penn State last week. They didn't get any 4-man pressure. Offensively, I have been waiting for aggressive, confident throw-in windows. Don't be afraid to throw in the middle of the field, J.T. Barrett. That showed up more tonight than in any game ever. And he got picked off 4 times. It's maybe I shouldn't have asked for it because he couldn't do it. They scouted Ohio State offensively to a T. They sat on everything in the intermediate game in the middle of the field, and they have, in the quest, we're going to write all this stuff too, in the quest to throw the ball, they have completely lost their identity as a running team, and that is on Urban Meyer. That is top down. This is who we are. Urban Meyer said all off season, it's enhance. We are who we are. That's not Ohio State football. And that's on Urban Meyer. They lost that. J.K. Dobbins had 6 carries. We asked about it all.
5 in the first half.
All last week. And I know you're down, but you can still run the ball when you're down. They lost who they are. It turns out last week the comeback covered up a lot of stuff. All credit to them for that comeback. Amazing. But a lot of the stuff we saw today was some stuff we saw in the first 3 quarters against Penn State, and then also stuff we saw against Oklahoma. And it all came together for that. Much, much more coming. If you've never listened to our podcast before, I would suggest listening to this one. Subscribe on iTunes, anywhere else, called Buckeye Talk. And we're going to talk and talk and talk. Post-game podcast will be up sometime tonight. He's Tim Bielek. He's Bill Landis. I'm Doug Lamarice. Much, much more coming at cleveland.com.